Hey everyone, Kurt Pross here. So this is a question that comes up all the time from small to mid-sized e-commerce stores, right? They tell me that they've plateaued with Google Shopping, or their sales and profits are sort of flatlined. Maybe they tell me that they're concerned that their campaigns are getting stale, or their agency is really not pushing to the next level. And so they ask me, like, what can I do to increase my profits on Google Shopping? Okay, and today's video is going to answer those questions for you. And the biggest way that you can level up your sales and profit is by using what I call Google Shopping profit rainbows. Okay, it's really designed for those small to mid-sized e-commerce business owners, right? Just to level up their sales and profit on Google Shopping. Okay, so we're going to dive right into it. Okay, so now the first thing to do before we get into the profit rainbows, it's important to sort of bring this up. Okay, the first thing you want to do to see if and think about really leveling up your sales and profit from Google Shopping is just to ask the question, are your ads showing, right? You'd be shocked at how many people aren't looking at this and aren't checking and aren't understanding or realizing that their ads aren't showing up for their best terms. So go to Google, use incognito mode, and just do a search for your best keywords and see if your ads are showing. Right? Also, look at your search term data in Google Ads and see, look, am I showing up for my best terms? Right? Am I getting good placements? Right? Or am I showing up for just a bunch of irrelevant traffic? Okay. And then, also look at your search impression share, but do it very carefully. Okay. Search impression share is a measure of the percentage of time that your ads actually show for what they're potentially eligible to show. Right? But you may, if you're selling, vintage Edison light bulbs, right? You may not want to show for that generic term like light bulb, right? So you do have to be careful with search impression share, but it can be a beneficial metric. So it's just, quick and easy. Don't forget to do this simple, basic thing. Just go to Google, do a search, and see if your ads are showing. So the next thing, now we're going to get a little more complicated, okay? This is, again, before we get into the profit rainbows, it's going to get a little more complex. So the second thing to do to level up your sales and profit is really look at increasing your market size, right? But doing it the right ROAS. Okay, so let's look at your target market. Okay, if we think of it as a bullseye, okay, way at the outer limits of that bullseye is basically everyone, right? This is a very large market, it's cold audience, doesn't know your brand or product, right? As you move in, it's going to get warmer and warmer. So, number 2 is going to be your warm audience. Maybe they know your brand, maybe you know their product, maybe they're searching for a specific product, right? But number 3, smaller audience, right? Smaller market size, right? But they're hot, right? They're looking exactly for your product or your brand. They know exactly what they want. Maybe they're price comparing products or evaluating your brand versus another brand, right? But they know what they want. Okay, you'd be surprised at how many Google Shopping accounts I look at where they're just sort of playing in this 3 circle. They're just they're only targeting this really hot audience that maybe knows their brand exists. Maybe they're searching for the brand. I saw a count the other day where the agency was basically just targeting the brand name of the company. And it's like, look, you're not getting any new customers, right? You're not getting anybody else out there and at ring 1 or 2. So this is a very important concept to understand. Now, I did say at the right ROAS, so this is important. Just for those that, just need this little refresher, ROAS, return on ad spend, right? Revenue from ads divided by ad spend. And there's a couple other sort of KPIs here that are good to know, right? So I just want to throw this out here in case you forgot what ROAS is. But, the question is, okay, what's a good ROAS, right? And that's going to vary by industry. It's going to vary, with some clients that are 1x, some clients at 10, right? But 3 to 5 is really the most common for small to mid-size, growing e-commerce companies. I'd say most clients, most companies we see are right in that range. However, okay, there are some factors that you should need to consider. Number 1 is your past data in Google Shopping and sort of algorithm seasoning for new ads, right? If you are running campaigns currently and you're not even really targeting your past your good keywords, you have a really bad data feed that's not optimized with keywords, right? To go in and sort of improve your data feed, optimize your data feed, now start targeting good terms, right? You're going to have a little bit of buffer there where you need to sort of show Google that your ads deserve to be shown for those target keywords. Okay, so or if you're brand new to Google Shopping and just launching, right, it's going to take a little bit of time just to get things warmed up there. So you may be at the lower end of the ROAS initially until you can sort of build it up. The other thing is business goals, right? We have, it's very important to understand, growth versus profit versus risk, right? If you're at one end of the extreme where you're just looking to grow as fast as possible and sort of take market share, right? Maybe you're okay with a 1x, right? And you're like, wait a sec, that's crazy. $10,000 in spend for 10,000 revenue, right? But how, of the 98% of people didn't convert, right? If you're successful in getting them to come back to your site, right? Driving another $10,000 and then taking that $20,000 and adding another $10,000 through the lifetime value. Now you're starting to sort of really build something here. So it's high growth, right? The last thing to consider is your customer journey marketing. Okay, a lot of people don't talk about this, but it's very important to understand that only 2% of people are going to buy right from Google Shopping. 2% is an average conversion rate. But that's 98% of people that didn't buy. So are you getting those people to come back to, to purchase, which we call return visitor purchase, right? Are you doing upsell? Are you doing average order value? Are you looking at lifetime value, right? Are you using Facebook ads to that other 98% of people to get them to come back, right? Telling your brand story. Are you doing email marketing, right? Are you hitting them up with multiple touch points, and that's all going to factor into what's a good ROAS for Google Shopping, okay? And then the last thing is it's market size versus ROAS trade-offs, right? This is very important, okay? And I'm going to jump into this in the next slide, okay? Now, if you think about that bullseye, okay, and you think, okay, well, I want to go after number one. I want big sales, high volume, or really sort of go after the big market, right? You're going to have a lower ROAS for that target market, for that market size, right? They don't know your brand exists, don't know about your product, never seen it, right? They're going to engage with your brand, your site for the first time, right? Number two, though, it's going to be more profit focused. Now you want to dial it down. Now you want to really dive into the profit, and maybe take some profit off the table, get get your highest net profit, right? Total. So you really, we have a lot of clients in this 2 range where they want to just really maximize their profit. Okay, number 3, is low risk. So we, ironically, we have a lot of clients coming to us, from 3 because, maybe they dip their toes in. They want to just really spend, a little bit of money, maybe $500 a month, just to get things sort of going, see what that is, right? But then they want to sort of take it up to level 2. So number 3 is much smaller market, low risk, probably getting good ROS. Lower ad spend, right? But they just want to sort of dip their toes in the water. Okay, so it's very important to just consider ROS goals, right, versus market size and so your business goals. Okay. Now, just as a recap here, just here's sort of traditional profit ROS curve, right? If you've got a huge market, right, your profit may be lower from some of that initially, but your sales are going to be huge, right? If you think about a sort of inverse sales curve here, right? At stage 1, your sales are going to be enormous. Your profit's going to be low. ROS is going to be low, right? But your sales are going to be huge. At 2, your sales revenue is going to be lower, right? But your profit's going to be actually a lot higher because you're not sort of going after all that big market out there, right? Number 3 is where your ROS is probably going to be highest, right? You go back to here, your 3 is going to be where your ROS is the highest, but your total net profit's going to be low, pretty low because it's just, there's not as many sales and not as many people at that stage 3 as in stage 2. Okay, so very important. Now it's I want to make sure everybody understands that it's very important when you think about those different market sizes, different positions. Going after position 1, position 2, position 3. It's very important to use keyword targeting. Okay, because at the end of the day, your return on ad spend is a function of how much you bid, okay, or your CPC, your cost per click. Okay, again, if you just take 1,000, or let's just say 100 clicks, right? What's your cost per click? What's your average order value on? What's the conversion rate, right? So your ROS is a function of, right, your cost per click, and each term is going to have a different conversion rate, different average order value, right? We have a client that sells, socks. Someone looking for bulk socks, right, is going to have a high average order value, and he sells like, a 200 some pack of socks. So his conversion rate on that's pretty good, but someone looking for men's dress socks is going to have a low average order value, low conversion rate, because then he's selling like a 200 pack of socks. Okay, so it's very important to look at each term and each keyword differently within the sort of your target market. Okay, so here's an example of that again. Just if you're selling vintage light bulbs, right? Someone looking for light bulbs is going to have a low conversion rate. Maybe they want that vintage light bulb, but they're searching for light bulbs. So your conversion rate's going to be low, right? Your average order is probably going to be low, right? Same with, now at the other end extreme, 60 watt vintage light bulb, right? Someone's looking specifically for a 60 watt vintage LED light bulb, right? That's going to have a much, much higher, right, conversion rate, right? Because they know exactly what they want. They know that, sort of later in that sort of, customer journey. So it's really important to look at these keywords differently and use keyword targeting in your Google Shopping campaigns to really go after, these words differently. So now, again, this video is about leveling up your Google Shopping. I don't want to bore you with too much details on keyword targeting. So if you want to learn more, just go to breakoutcampaigns.com. Okay. Now, on to profit rainbows, okay? This is going to be the sort of the secret sauce that really helps you grow your Google Shopping sales and profit and really take your profit to the next level, okay? Now, here is your profit rainbow. So, pretty colors here, but the important thing is if you think back to the profit versus ROAS curve that I showed you before, you got stage 1 here on the left, you got stage 2 in the middle, the high point, you got stage 3 on the right. Right? If you think about that, okay, the way that the profit rainbows works is sort of leveling up to, to each different color, okay, leveling up to different stage, right? So if you do conversion rate optimization, right, let's say you do nothing else with your targeting, don't change anything in Google, but you improve your conversion rate, right? Now your profit increases. Now let's say the next thing you go to improve your average order value, right? That goes up a next notch, right? And let's say you improve your return visitor purchase rate, it goes up to the next notch, right? And then you improve your lifetime value, it goes up the next notch. Okay, this is how profit rainbows work. Okay, this is how you can dramatically increase your profit. And then next, I'm going to go through some of the specific steps that you can do to go to each next level. So conversion rate, optimization, average order value, return visitor purchase, and lifetime value. Okay. Now, for those of you that are super technical or like charts and graphs, okay. Now, theoretically, right, the way that this would actually look like if you're a chart geek like myself, it's going to look more like this. Okay, where it sort of tiers up and to the right. Okay, but just to sort of keep things simple for this, I just want to let's just focus on this shape because yes, while the ROAS does increase, I think really want to focus in on is increasing the profit. Okay, this is an important consideration for most small to mid-sized e-commerce businesses where they want to increase their profit. Okay, and as their profit increases, then they can start looking at other things like increasing the ROAS and stuff. So. Okay, so this is what we're going to use. Okay, so level 1, this is what most people do, right? That's that level, that's that red line up there, right? They're just sort of cruising along. They're maybe, they're really not getting much help from the ad manager agency, right? They're just sort of cruising along, just getting whatever profit they can get, right? They're, maybe flatlined, right? Clearly, there's a missed opportunity here to increase your profit. Okay, so the question is what can you do to level up and go to the next curve, right? This is level 2, improve your conversion rate. Right, this is where you want to focus your ad spend on high converting keywords, really bid higher on those really good, high profit keywords, right? Using that KTC method or using the breakout campaign method like I mentioned before, right? Use site conversion rate best practices, right? We have the free, conversion rate checklist for Shopify stores available. Just reach out to us, let us know if you don't have it already. But number 3, look at A/B testing images and prices within your shopping ads. You'd be surprised how A/B testing imaging can make a big difference on click-through rate, conversion rate, right? And prices as well. I can go into stories where people just weren't even paying attention to prices, or they didn't realize that their competitors had free shipping and they didn't, and just really understanding how your ad looks and A/B testing different images, prices, titles on Google Shopping can make a big difference to driving the right customer to your site that's most likely to buy, which is going to improve your conversion rate. Okay. Also using things like cart abandonment, exit intent, right? Using email or text messaging, cart abandonment software, very important things to do. Okay. Number 3, improving your average order value. Okay. Analyze the sales and keyword by average order. Very important, right? Focus your ad spend on the high average order value, right? If you have a product that's driving much higher average order value and versus another one over here, product that has a low average order value, right? You don't want to bid the same on those. You want to bid higher on the high average order values product so you can drive more traffic, get higher ad position on that high AOV product, okay? Also, look at things like testing kits or bundles. If you have a product that's very similar to what everyone else is selling, right? Well, what else, let's say a GoPro or a golf swing set or something, right? What else can you bundle in there, right? Because you're probably held to map pricing, maybe, I don't know. But what else can you bundle in there to offer the customer more value, and therefore they'll want to pay you more, right? Also adding that as an upsell on the product page, right? Doing an upsell to add to cart. We love the Bold Upsell Shopify app. If you're using Shopify, great app to help you upsell. You can upsell in the checkout too using an app that's called Cart Hook. You got to be careful with some of the conversion tracking on that, particularly when it comes to Facebook and Google. But both those, Bold Upsell app for the cart or Cart Hook for the checkout, are great tools to increase average order value. Okay, but to go to the next level, right? To level up to the next level, really increase your profit, it's got to be about increasing your return visitor purchases, okay? Now, because if, like I said, 2% may convert, right? But if you're using the keyword targeted, or breakout campaigns where you're driving good quality traffic and people specifically looking for products, that means 98% of people that clicked an ad didn't convert, right? But they're still good customers, right? They're still good potential customers. How do you get them to come back to your website to buy, right? How do you get them to come back? That's a huge market. What if you take, that 2% conversion rate, but get another 4% to come back to the site, right? That just tripled your sales, right? And 4% is not a lot, right? Of that 98% of people that didn't buy right then, just get 4% of those, right? And now you're talking from a 2% conversion rate to 6% conversion rate. So you've effectively tripled your sales on the same amount of ad spend, right? Maybe you're getting those people to come back through Facebook ads, running, doing email marketing, whatever it is, right? Get those people to come back. Okay. So this is why it's very important to do customer journey remarketing ads on Facebook. Run ads that tell your brand story. Doing your dynamic product ads, maybe coupon, something to really sort of, push them down or have them slide down that customer journey. Because that's going to really lead them to purchase. Okay. The third thing you want to look at is doing dynamic product ads with dynamic product remarketing ads on Google Ads. Okay, it's going to show them, it's going to follow them around and show them those products that they're previously reviewing. So it really just sort of grabs their attention and gets them to sort of come back to the website. But also creating a really memorable experience on the product page. I can't tell you how many sites I've looked at where it's like you go to the product page and it looks like a default Shopify theme. Right? Look at your product page because that's where your customers are going to, or your potential customers are going to from Google Shopping. So look and say, what can I improve on here? Right? Tell your brand story. Tell why they should buy from you. Have trust badges, right? There's a lot of things that you can do on there to really get them to remember your brand, remember your site, and remember like, wow, this seems like a really cool company, or this seems like a brand that I really trust and that I really want to buy from. So I'm going to really remember them. Okay. Also, look at, make sure you have email capture on the product page, or via an offer or exit intent or something to try to get that email, because email is still king when it comes to return visitors. So, we have a client that's running a giveaway, right? Think of everybody that comes to the site to look at product A, but hey, here's a giveaway contest we do once a month. It is not only product A, but it's product B, product C, product D, all in this amazing bundled giveaway, right? So, enter your email address and you'll be eligible to win this product giveaway. Much more effective for them as opposed to just doing a 10% off everyone, right? Because a lot of people come there, they already know they want to buy, and so giving them an additional 10%, is not necessarily helpful. Okay. And the last thing here, level 5, is really about increasing your customer lifetime value. Okay, get hyper focused on the customer lifetime value. Understand what it is. Understand what yours is. Software like Glue.io can help, but also just building relationships. With regular email sends, right? Telling your story, understanding it's a person, it's a team, it's a meaningful brand that is behind this e-commerce store. Okay, so interacting with customers by posting engaging content, social media, personalized product recommendation, rewards programs, upselling and promoting, products or subscription products. Subscription products are a great way to sort of get people locked into your brand. Also, just retargeting ads, especially for existing customers, right? If you've got a group of existing customers, just running retargeting ads on Facebook or Google to sort of just, really keep them a loyal customer of you, of your brand, right, is very powerful. So, this is, like I said, these are the 5 levels to increase your profit when it comes to Google Shopping. Okay. Now, of course, it's not easy, right? It's not. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of expertise. But at the end of the day, it can have a huge impact on your business and significantly increase your profit, right? Like just in the example of the conversion rate optimization, going from 2% to 3% or 4%, or increasing your return visitor purchase rate, or increasing your average order value, right? This all has a big impact on increasing your profit. Because again, you're not increasing your ad spend necessarily, right? Yes, you may a little bit through Facebook retargeting, but that's pretty low cost relative to the cost of acquiring cold traffic, right? So, it's going to make a big difference in increasing your total net profit. Okay. Now, for those of you that are more advanced, I did show you that that curve where it went up to the right. Okay, like here you see on the left. Now, it is important to sort of keep in mind that as you do these things, your ROS does increase. Okay. Now, as your ROS increases, that allows you to then sort of expand your target market, right? So let's say you're getting a 4-to-1 at position 2 on this target market chart here, right? And let's say you did some of these things and you now went from a 4 to a 8 ROS. Right. Well, great. Now you can start expanding to position 1, right? Because previously maybe you only got like a 2 ROS out here, right? But doing all these things, now you went from a 2 to a 4 ROS, and now it's profitable for you to market at position 1. So doing these things can have compounding effects where it not only increases your direct net profit, like in the previous simple examples, it can actually really expand your total sales and total profit by expanding your market. Okay, again, it's a little more advanced, but it's very important to understand that this is part of this and an outcome of doing these things. Now, the big question is, if you need help with this, if you need help and need someone to jump in, okay, there's teams that are available to help you with this. The guys at storemedics.com, they can help you with conversion rate, right, or any sort of Shopify improvements, installing apps, or doing some things on your site to improve your conversion rate or return visitor rate, or doing some of those things to make a big improvement on your Shopify page. So just visit storemedics.com and reach out to them. Okay. Also, if you have any questions about Google Shopping, right, just comment below or email me. Okay, we can, I can definitely, point you in the right direction, whether it's going to, whether it's more information on keyword targeting or breakout campaigns, just comment below or email me directly. And then the third thing, if you still feel like you're sort of stuck, right, you still feel like you're stuck with Google Shopping, and stuck sort of going to that next level, just schedule a free profit analysis. Okay, this is a free, simple analysis. Just you click the link there or visit that URL and provide some information about your brand, your account. We get into your account and do a free profit analysis and show you exactly sort of how much we think your profit can increase by using some of these tactics. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you found it beneficial. If you did find it beneficial, be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends and colleagues. We post videos like this. We try to post once a week, once every few weeks. That will, videos that are helpful and impactful. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out directly. But that's it for today's video. So good luck. Cheers.